Wildfires continue to rage in much of the country. Several communities north of La Ronge, Saskatchewan, have been issued evacuation orders due to the fire threat. Thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Both provinces have declared states of emergency as crews work to contain dozens of out-of-control wildfires. As the fires continue to threaten communities, air quality is also causing concern. Swaths of smoke from the wildfires is being felt across the West. Saskatchewan's Public Safety Agency says it's the busiest, most active fire level seen this early in the season. The Saskatchewan community of Denare Beach has been hit especially hard. Residents were forced to evacuate, and for some, the place they once called home is now gone. Joining me now is one of those residents, Cyndi Pedwell. Her home was destroyed by the fire. She joins us this afternoon from Saskatoon. Cyndi, appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. I'm glad to see the smile. I can just imagine just how stressful the last few days have been. First of all, how you're doing? Your furry friend looks, no problem, no problem.
I guess she's shy. She's really not a city girl. There you are.
How are you doing?
You know what? I think we're doing okay, as the days go on and understanding, what's happened and that we have to put things in place to sort of keep going forward.
So you watched, here we are, we're seeing some images. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing. Now, this is actually when you went back to Denare Beach. This is your property. Can you walk us through what we're seeing?
For sure. So my dad is still there. He didn't evacuate, and he took photos of our place the next day to send back to us. Just everything's gone. It burnt through our entire neighborhood and the bottom half of our community. It's very devastating.
So this kind of, is this your dad's video of him kind of walking through and taking the video of can you describe what it is that we're looking at? It's sort of daytime, kind of a hazy day.
Yeah. So, he's just taking a video for us, kind of walking around, I think, trying to show us the yard. And, I guess if we recognize anything that's in there. So he was just, he's still there. And I feel like he's still, in shock himself, I think, of what he sees every day. He just keeps telling me he thinks it looks like Beirut.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a war zone. I mean, the only thing that I can see a house kind of in the distance that looks like it hasn't been damaged. But is this the property? What was on the property? Is it a one home? Is it other structures? I can see what looks like an old vehicle there that looks damaged, but you can still make it out. Can you walk us through what it is?
That's probably our side-by-side. So we had a 2-story house, and then we had a 2-car garage to the right of it. To the left of us, our neighbor, that's lakefront, his garage was untouched for some reason. They lost their home, but their garage remained. And then the rest of the street, I think if you look far back in the one picture, you can see a little house that did survive. They lost their garage. It's strange when Dad tells me the few places that did survive, like why they weren't consumed either. Fire is very unpredictable.
Yeah, it's so interesting to look at some of these images because we can see a structure nearby, doesn't look damaged. We can see some trees nearby, they're fine, and then your property is gone. And I understand, and I think we're going to show some of these images now. You watched your home kind of being consumed by flames through your doorbell camera, and we're seeing that footage now. Can you just talk to us about what that was like? What a strange thing to kind of be able to watch the fire as it comes towards your property.
I know it may sound like it was a weird thing to do, but no. Our nephew is a fireman, and he had called us not that long before that, a couple hours beforehand, and he said, "I'm sorry, Auntie, they're pulling us all out. There's no more firefighting." And so we just wanted to watch and see if our home was going to be affected. And, fingers crossed that the fire didn't come that far. And then it did. And That's something in itself to see, but I think we had to see it so that we understood fully what happened and we weren't left wondering.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's weird at all. I think, but I can only imagine as we are looking at this, and now this is, a couple days later, right? We're seeing the flames getting closer and closer. As you were seeing this, did you kind of think, all right, it's not looking good?
As soon as we saw it, in our backyard, there's that one video of our backyard with the bridge my dad had made me. As soon as that lit up, I thought, we're in trouble. The garage view where you could see the old Kevin's old truck and our boat. The flames were such a weird color and so high. I mean, that's our garage, and of course, it had all of our side-by-sides and motorcycles and fuel and propane, and so I just, you just kind of knew at that point that there was going to be nothing left. Like, it's so large. My husband didn't have time to come back to grab the boat. He had stayed 2 days longer than we did at the mine. He was helping fight fire there. And then when it was time to go, they wouldn't let him come back. They just said, get out. So yeah, we really didn't take anything that we should have. I kind of feel like Flin Flon was the danger, and Denare Beach wasn't on the radar.
So what's it like to sort of see all of this gone now that you're, and where are you now, and do you know what's next?
So we're staying in Saskatoon at our kids' apartment, and my sister lives in the city here, so our family's here, and my in-laws are in a camper and they're getting closer to Saskatoon. So I think eventually we'll all be kind of like, here together. So there's comfort in that. I don't know what's next for us. I feel like, Denare Beach won't be able to have people live there until the water sewer treatment plant is rebuilt. So I guess if the government, when they decide to help us with that and how fast that happens, I really don't know. So for the time being, we're here until the mandatory evacuation is done. My husband's on EI. Obviously, he can't work. I'm self-employed. I have a business in Flin Flon. So, I hope to kind of go back to try to run my business, and we'll live with Kevin's mom in the meantime because she has a home in Flin Flon. As long as Flin Flon's still there, and fingers crossed that they are doing a good job.
Well, do you have a message that you want to send to government officials about, about your community, what it needs to recover, or about how all of this was handled?
Well, I feel that, we were neglected. They knew days before for sure how bad this fire was. There are former firefighters that, wanted to come back to fight. They weren't allowed. It seemed like they kept holding back instead of, getting here. So our volunteer fire department is just 11 guys. And they really didn't have any help. We're lucky that Creighton, which is a few minutes away, they have, I think they said 100 people there helping now. And Flin Flon, which is like 1 minute away from that, has about 200. So we were really left to the wolves, and that hurts. That also hurts.
Well, Cyndi, I'm glad to hear that you're with your kid, you're with family, and I'm sure it's a stressful time, but appreciate you telling us part of this story for us. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
That's Saskatchewan fire evacuee Cyndi Pedwell.